Listen carefully tonight, for this is not just another moment, it is a divine appointment. God is ready to visit you in your sleep. Yes, tonight as you close your eyes, the same God who calmed storms, healed the sick, and raised the dead is moving toward you. He is preparing a sacred encounter in your life while your body rests and your spirit prepares to meet Him. Do not let distraction, doubt, or fear steal this moment. This night can be the night of breakthroughs, restoration, revelation, and miracles. Open your heart fully, declare your faith, and prepare to receive, for God is ready to step into your room, into your life, and into your dreams, changing everything from the inside out. God is ready to visit you tonight. I want you to understand this truth deeply, for it is not just a statement. It is a reality that can change your life. As you prepare to sleep, do not see your bed as just a place to rest. See it as a holy ground, a sacred space where heaven can intersect with your life. The same God who calmed the storm, who parted the seas, and who raised the dead is ready to come into your room, into your life, and into your dreams. He is not far away. He is not passive. He is not waiting for the perfect time. He is already moving toward you. You may feel weary, burdened, or overwhelmed, but His presence is stronger than your fatigue. His power is greater than your problems. Tonight, as you close your eyes, make a conscious decision to invite Him. Do not allow your mind to wander to fear, doubt, or distraction. Focus on His goodness, on His promises, on His faithfulness. Speak to Him with expectation and believe that He will respond. Do not approach this moment casually. This is a divine appointment. The atmosphere around you is ready to shift. When you pray tonight, you are not just speaking words into the air. You are activating heaven. You are calling the Creator of all things into your personal space. Heaven responds to faith, not hesitation. Heaven responds to boldness, not timidity. As you lie down, imagine the glory of God filling your room, surrounding your bed, covering you like a protective shield. Nothing can penetrate what God has ordained. Nothing can stop what He has planned. Even while you sleep, even while your eyes are closed, His Spirit is at work. There is a supernatural dimension that operates beyond the limitations of the natural. This is where healing happens, where breakthroughs are born, where solutions come that human minds could never devise. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but your life will bear the evidence. Health can be restored, relationships mended, finances multiplied, peace replacing anxiety, joy filling your heart where despair once resided. The God who watches over you never sleeps, and He does not slumber. While your body rests, His Spirit is active. While your mind may be wandering in dreams, His hand is moving in reality. Do not underestimate the power of tonight. This is not just another night. This is a night with divine potential. Speak your faith. Declare His promises over your life. Say, Lord, I invite you. Visit me, touch my life. Restore, heal, and guide me. Let these words be more than a prayer. Let them be a declaration of trust. Let them be the opening of your heart to receive what God wants to pour into your life. Understand that God is always looking for vessels of faith. He is always seeking hearts that will believe, that will trust, that will surrender completely. Tonight, be that heart. Open your mind, open your spirit, open your soul, and let Him come in. Do not hold back with doubt or fear. Release everything that could block His presence. Let go of worry, anxiety, resentment, and despair. Cleanse your heart with faith, and let Him fill every empty space with His glory, His peace, and His power. Faith unlocks divine encounters even while you sleep. Faith is not passive. It is active, it is alive. It is the key that opens the doors to heaven. You may wonder, how can faith work while I am asleep? How can belief bring change when my consciousness rests? Understand this. Faith is not limited by your awareness. Faith is not bound by your eyes being closed or your body being still. Faith operates in the spiritual realm, and that realm is always awake, always alive, always responding. When you pray with faith tonight, you are doing more than speaking words. You are sending ripples into eternity. You are releasing heavenly forces that cannot be resisted. The same faith that moved mountains, that healed the sick, that opened the eyes of the blind, that raised the dead, can work for you tonight. Even in sleep, faith acts as a magnet, drawing God's presence, His miracles, and His guidance toward you. You must believe not just for appearances, but with a conviction that moves your spirit. Let your heart be unwavering. Let your expectation rise. Do not whisper doubt. Do not murmur disbelief. Shout faith silently in your heart. Declare, I believe, I trust, I receive. When you do this, your sleep becomes more than rest. It becomes a spiritual encounter. Healing flows while you dream. Peace descends while your mind wanders in visions. Solutions appear while your body is still. You may wake and not remember all that transpired, but your life will show the fruit of what your faith accomplished in the unseen. This is why faith is so powerful. It operates beyond time, beyond understanding, beyond the limitations of your natural senses. Faith invites God to move when circumstances seem impossible. Faith welcomes His presence when human hope fails. Faith ensures that no matter what has been holding you back, tonight can be a night of divine breakthrough. Do not underestimate the simple act of believing. The words you speak in prayer, the hope you carry in your heart, the surrender of your worries, all of these open the door for God to step in and do what only He can do. Faith is the key. Faith is the channel. Faith is the magnet that draws God into your sleep, into your dreams, into your life, and into your future. Hold on to it, speak it, live it. Allow it to transform your night into a place where heaven touches earth, where divine intervention meets your life, and where blessings beyond your imagination are released. That prayer invites heaven into your personal space. Understand this truth. Prayer is not simply words spoken into the air. Prayer is the mechanism through which the unseen realm of heaven interacts with the natural world. When you pray with sincerity, when you pray with expectation, you are opening the door for God Himself to come and move. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, recognize that your room can become a sanctuary. Your bed can become an altar. Your heart can become a throne room where the King of Kings chooses to dwell. Do not approach prayer casually or mechanically. Speak with intentionality. Speak with reverence. Speak with faith. The atmosphere of your surroundings is affected by the words you release. Heaven bends toward your declaration. Angels are dispatched. Unseen forces are mobilized. And the Spirit of God descends into your situation. There is nothing too difficult, nothing too far removed, nothing too hopeless that cannot be touched by the power of prayer. When you close your eyes tonight, speak audibly or silently. Lord, come into my sleep. Touch my mind, my body, my spirit. Release your power into every corner of my life. With these words, you are not just asking. You are commanding the spiritual realms to align with heaven's will. Understand that God responds to faith-filled prayer. He does not delay. He does not ignore. He moves on behalf of those who approach Him with confidence, persistence, and trust. Your room becomes the intersection of heaven and earth. Your sleep becomes a stage for divine activity. While your body rests, your spirit is active in ways that defy the limitations of the natural. Healing can be released. Burdens can be lifted. Broken relationships can be restored. Decisions can be clarified. The miracle working power of God is not constrained by time or space. While you rest, the heavenly realm can intervene. Prayer is the invitation, faith is the key, and God is the responder. Tonight, when you pray, do not just pray for small things. Pray boldly, pray expansively, pray with the expectation that God will move mightily. Let your words, your heart, your belief become a magnet for His presence. Let every worry, every fear, every hesitation be replaced with confidence in His promises. Prayer is not passive. It is active. It is transformative. It sets in motion forces that cannot be seen, but whose effects are undeniable. Lay down all your burdens and fears before Him. God is not looking for perfection, but He is looking for surrender. He is not moved by your accomplishments, but by your willingness to let go of what you cannot control and place it fully into His hands. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, imagine yourself standing before God, carrying every burden, every anxiety, every worry, every disappointment. See yourself placing them at His feet, releasing them completely, trusting that He will carry them for you. Do not hold back. Do not keep pieces of your struggle in your own hands. The God who watches over you is mighty to save, mighty to heal, mighty to restore. When you relinquish control and hand over your concerns, you make space for Him to operate. The burdens you carry weigh you down, cloud your mind, and steal your peace. By laying them down in prayer, you are stepping into freedom. You are stepping into divine rest. You are inviting the Holy Spirit to act without obstruction. Fear cannot coexist with faith. Anxiety cannot thrive in the presence of surrender. When you release your burdens, you create an environment where God can work unimpeded. Tonight, imagine every worry dissolving, every fear disappearing, and every heavy thought being lifted by His Spirit. Picture His hands taking hold of your troubles, His love surrounding your heart, and His power releasing solutions, healing, and provision. The act of surrender is not passive, it is an act of faith. It demonstrates trust in His character, trust in His promises, and trust in His timing. Do not underestimate the power of this act. What you release in faith, God can transform into blessings. What you surrender in prayer, He can turn into breakthroughs. What you lay down tonight, He can raise up tomorrow in ways you never imagined. Understand that when you lay down your burdens, you are not simply seeking relief. You are inviting God's supernatural intervention. You are creating a space for miracles. You are positioning yourself for answers, guidance, and restoration. Do not cling to what you think you must carry alone. Do not believe the lie that you must figure everything out by yourself. God is not distant. He is not disinterested. He is ready, willing, and able to step into the most complicated, the most impossible, the most painful situations in your life. Your faith and surrender are the keys that unlock this divine encounter. Tonight, place everything in His hands. Lay down your burdens. Let go of your fears. Release your anxieties. Open your heart fully to the presence of God and prepare to experience the miraculous, the transformative, and the supernatural as He moves in your sleep. His timing is perfect. He arrives exactly when needed. Understand this truth deeply. God is never early, never late, and never delayed. His timing is flawless, even when our human understanding cannot grasp it. Often, we become anxious because we want things to happen according to our schedule, according to our perception of urgency. Yet God's timing is not bound by human limitations. While we may grow impatient, He is orchestrating events in ways that are far beyond our imagination. Every delay, every season of waiting, every moment of apparent silence is part of His divine plan. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, rest in the certainty that God is moving. Even if you do not see the evidence immediately, His hand is at work. The very moment you need His intervention, His help, His breakthrough, it will arrive. Not a second too soon, not a second too late, but precisely when it will produce the greatest result. You may have struggled, prayed, and hoped for years, yet this does not mean God has forgotten you. On the contrary, He has been preparing the perfect solution, arranging circumstances, and mobilizing His angels to align everything for your benefit. Trust in His timing. Do not force outcomes, do not rush events, do not take matters into your own hands out of impatience. Every situation has a divine moment, a heavenly hour, a time when heaven will intersect with earth in miraculous ways. Faith rests in this truth. Faith waits patiently, confident that God's timing is perfect, that He knows what you need before you ask, and that He will provide exactly what is required at exactly the right moment. Tonight, as you lie down to sleep, release the burden of trying to control time. Surrender your schedules, your expectations, and your frustrations into His hands. Trust that what seems delayed is actually being perfected, that what seems distant is being orchestrated for your ultimate good. Believe that even in your dreams, His timing is active. He can speak to you, reveal solutions, heal wounds, and shift circumstances while you rest. This is the beauty of God's timing. It is never hurried, never delayed, never wasted. It is always precise, always intentional, always perfect for your life. Miracles happen in the unseen realm of your dreams. Do not underestimate the power of what occurs while your body rests and your mind wanders. There is a spiritual dimension that operates beyond the natural senses, a realm where God moves with precision and authority. In this unseen realm, your prayers are heard, your faith is acted upon, and your life is transformed. While you sleep, your dreams can become a conduit for divine revelation, for supernatural healing, for miraculous interventions that cannot be explained by human reasoning. The Bible tells us that God gives visions in the night, that He speaks through dreams, and that His Spirit moves in ways that surpass our understanding. Tonight, as you close your eyes, prepare to enter into this unseen realm with expectation. Speak a prayer of faith, "O Lord, visit me in my sleep. Let your Spirit move in ways beyond my understanding. Let your dreams carry your revelation, your guidance, your healing. When you do this, you are not just resting. You are entering a sacred space where heaven touches earth. The unseen realm is alive with possibilities. While your physical eyes are closed, your spiritual eyes can be opened. While your mind may wander, your heart can perceive divine truth. Healing can be released into your body. Solutions can appear in your dreams, and guidance can be given for situations that have seemed impossible. Miracles are not restricted to the daylight hours. God does not need the sun or human activity to manifest His power. The night is His canvas, and your sleep is the stage for His supernatural work. Your faith, your prayer, and your expectation are the keys that unlock these miraculous events. Do not dismiss the moments when you awaken with sudden clarity, inspiration, or peace. These are the fingerprints of God, working in the unseen realm to change your life. Every burden carried into sleep, every fear surrendered, every prayer spoken with faith becomes a seed planted in heaven's soil. Tonight in the unseen realm, these seeds can bear fruit. Health can be restored. Brokenness can be healed. Relationships can be mended. Opportunities can be unlocked. Your spirit can be renewed. The God who never sleeps, who watches over His creation, who orchestrates the stars and the seas, is actively moving while you rest. Miracles do not require your comprehension. They require your faith. They require your openness to receive. They require your expectation that God will act. Tonight, step into the unseen with anticipation. Allow your sleep to become a sacred encounter, a time when heaven invades your circumstances, when divine intervention occurs, and when your life is touched in ways that leave lasting transformation. Declare God's promises over your life with authority. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, I want you to understand the power of declaration. Words are not just sounds. They are seeds. They are commands. They carry authority. And when aligned with God's promises, they move heaven itself. Every promise of God is a guarantee, a covenant, a declaration of what He has already ordained for your life. Yet, these promises are often dormant until you speak them aloud, until you declare them with faith, until you release them with authority. Speak over your health, over your family, over your finances, over your relationships, over your future. Say, I receive your blessings, Lord. I walk in your favor. I am protected, guided, and led by your Spirit. I am victorious in every area of my life. Do not merely whisper these words. Declare them boldly. When you declare God's promises with authority, you are not just speaking to yourself. You are speaking to the spiritual realm. You are commanding heaven to act, and the angels respond. The unseen forces align. Barriers are removed. Obstacles fall. Chains are broken. Every word spoken in faith becomes a catalyst for transformation. Understand this. The enemy does not like declarations. He trembles at faithful pronouncements because they carry God's power. Your words, backed by God's promises, create a spiritual atmosphere where miracles can occur. Tonight, declare healing where there is sickness. Declare provision where there is lack. Declare peace where there is anxiety. Declare breakthrough where there is stagnation. Declare restoration where there has been loss. Let your heart be full of expectation as you speak these words. Do not doubt. Do not hesitate. Speak with authority, knowing that the God who made the heavens and the earth has entrusted you with the ability to release His power through your words. Declarations are not magic. They are faith in action. They are a partnership with the Spirit, a co-laboring with God to bring heaven's reality into your life. As you lie down tonight, let every word you speak in faith echo in heaven. Let it resonate with divine authority, and let it activate the supernatural forces ready to work on your behalf. Surrender fully to experience divine restoration and peace. The second key principle I want you to understand tonight is surrender. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is a powerful act of faith, a recognition that God's ways are higher than your ways, His understanding deeper than yours, and His plans greater than anything you could conceive. As you prepare to sleep, place your entire life before Him. Lay down control over your circumstances, your relationships, your future, your health, your finances. Release every worry, every fear, every regret, every burden. When you surrender fully, you create an environment for God to act unhindered. There is a divine law at work. Where surrender exists, His presence fills the space. Where submission occurs, His power flows freely. Where hearts release control, miracles manifest. Many times God's work is delayed not because He is unable, but because His children are unwilling to release their hold, unwilling to trust, unwilling to let Him take full control. Tonight, surrender completely. Give Him every aspect of your life. Do not hold anything back. Let go of resentment, anger, pride, anxiety, and fear. Let His peace replace them. Let His restoration take over what has been broken. As you lay your head down, visualize yourself placing every problem, every heartache, every uncertainty, every struggle into His hands. Feel the weight lifting, chains breaking, the burdens disappearing. This act of surrender is transformative. It opens the door for healing to flow. It allows restoration to take root. It invites peace that surpasses understanding. It creates a pathway for blessings, favor, and divine encounters to enter your life without obstruction. Surrender also activates faith. When you release control, you are declaring that you trust God completely, that you believe His ways are perfect, and that you expect His intervention. This combination of faith and surrender is powerful. It positions you to experience miracles while you sleep. Your mind may rest, your body may rejuvenate, but your spirit will be alive with the work of God. Healing can begin in the hidden parts of your body. Solutions can appear for challenges that have seemed impossible. Broken relationships can be restored through dreams, guidance, and revelations. Your peace will be strengthened, your joy renewed, and your hope amplified. Surrender is not passive, it is active faith. It is a conscious decision to place everything into the hands of the Creator, to trust Him fully, and to believe that His power can accomplish what your effort alone cannot. The act of surrender tonight is planting seeds that heaven will water. It is creating conditions for divine restoration, supernatural peace, and miraculous breakthroughs, supernatural guidance, solutions, and revelations. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, I want you to understand that the night is not just a time for rest. It is a time when heaven can communicate with you in ways that daylight sometimes cannot allow. The human mind is often cluttered with worries, distractions, and fears But in the quiet of the night, in the stillness of your room, your spirit can be awakened to receive divine guidance, insights, and revelations. God speaks to His children in many ways, through His word, through prayer, through circumstances, and yes, through dreams and visions. When you lie down tonight with faith and expectation, you are opening yourself to receive wisdom that surpasses human understanding. Solutions to problems that have seemed impossible can be revealed in dreams, in sudden clarity, or in impressions on your heart. Divine guidance can redirect your steps, correct your path, and align you with God's perfect plan. The key is to expect it. Do not go to sleep thinking that nothing will happen or that God is too busy to visit you. Expect Him to speak. Expect Him to reveal what you need to know. Expect Him to guide you into breakthroughs. There is a supernatural dimension operating while your body rests. Angels are dispatched to deliver messages, to prepare circumstances, to protect you from harm, and to position you for divine encounters. The spiritual realm is always active, and your faith acts as the channel that connects you to it. When you pray with expectation and believe with certainty, you are creating an atmosphere where revelations can come freely. Do not dismiss what comes to you in dreams. Do not underestimate the impressions or nudges you may feel in your spirit. God communicates in ways that transcend the natural senses. When you receive a solution, a strategy, or a vision, it is not random. It is divine instruction. Every revelation, every insight, every breakthrough you receive tonight can change your life, your relationships, your finances, your health, and your purpose. Expectation is the secret that unlocks the door to these supernatural interventions. You must not just hope or wish. You must believe with certainty that God will act. Your faith activates His power. Your trust becomes the conduit through which heaven works in your life. Solutions that seem humanly impossible, insights that defy logic, and guidance that surpasses comprehension are all within your reach when you approach sleep with expectation. Allow your heart to be still, your mind to focus on God's promises, and your spirit to anticipate His intervention. Do not doubt, do not question, and do not limit God by your understanding. Instead, prepare to receive the supernatural, to awaken with clarity, to see doors open, and to experience God's guidance every area of your life. Tonight, allow your sleep to become a sacred encounter with the divine, a time when wisdom, revelation, and supernatural solutions are delivered directly from heaven into your heart and mind. Your dreams can become a pathway for God to speak to you, to correct your path, to provide insight, and to bring clarity where confusion has reigned. Expectation releases power. Faith opens the way. Prayer invites heaven. Tonight, as you close your eyes, believe that you will awaken with direction, solutions, and revelation that can transform your life. Awake to evidence of His work, blessings, joy, and transformation. It is not enough to simply pray, to surrender, or to declare promises over your life. You must also recognize, receive, and respond to the evidence of God's work in your life. Often, people pray and hope, yet they fail to see or acknowledge the miracles that have already been released. Tonight, I want you to awaken with awareness, with clarity, and with a heart tuned to the evidence of His presence. The blessings may appear in subtle ways, peace replacing anxiety, rest instead of fatigue, solutions where there seem to be none. They may appear in tangible ways, health restored, relationships reconciled, finances increased, opportunities opening. They may appear in your spirit first, before manifesting in the natural. The key is to remain attentive, to remain grateful, and to remain expectant. When you awaken, look for the fingerprints of God in your life. See the transformation in your perspective, in your decisions, in your reactions, and in your peace. Recognize that even while you slept, God was at work orchestrating events, opening doors, and aligning circumstances according to His perfect will. Awaken with joy, for joy is the evidence that heaven has intersected with your life. Let gratitude flow from your heart, for gratitude opens the door for more of His blessings. Transformation may not always be immediate, but when you recognize the evidence of His work, even in small ways, your faith is strengthened and your expectancy for greater miracles grows. You will begin to see patterns, connections, and outcomes that were previously invisible. Your life will begin to shift as you align with the evidence of God's intervention. Every answered prayer, every provision, every healing, every guidance is a sign that He is present, active, and faithful. Transformation often begins in the unseen and becomes visible over time. Your role is to recognize it, acknowledge it, and align with it. Tonight, prepare to awaken with this awareness. Prepare to see God's work in your life clearly. Prepare to experience joy, peace, and blessings that are the tangible results of your faith, your prayer, your surrender, and your expectation. The God who moved while you slept will continue to move throughout your day. The miracles that began in the unseen realm of your sleep will manifest in the natural. Health, peace, restoration, joy, provision, and breakthrough will become visible evidence of His presence. Do not overlook or underestimate the significance of what He has done. Every answer, every blessing, every moment of peace is proof that God is faithful, that His power is real, and that transformation is possible. Awaken with gratitude, awaken with expectancy, and awaken with the knowledge that God's work in your life is ongoing, unstoppable, and miraculous. Your life is being transformed from the inside out, and every moment you acknowledge His work amplifies the power of His presence in your life. Tonight, let your sleep become the stage for divine activity, and let your awakening become the evidence of heaven's intervention, the proof of God's faithfulness, and the beginning of a life filled with joy, blessings, and supernatural transformation. Tonight, you have been reminded of powerful truths that God's presence is ready to meet you, that faith unlocks divine encounters, that prayer is the invitation to heaven, and that surrender releases His miraculous power into your life. You have learned that His timing is perfect, that the unseen realm operates while you rest, and that the words you declare over your life carry authority to release blessings. You have been called to lay down every burden, to trust His promises, and to expect supernatural guidance, solutions, and revelations. Tonight, your sleep is not ordinary. It is a gateway to divine restoration, peace, joy, and transformation. As you embrace faith, surrender, expectation, and declaration, you position yourself to awaken with the evidence of His work, to see miracles, experience healing, receive guidance, and step boldly into a new day filled with favor and blessings. Every act of faith, Every prayer spoken in expectation and every word of surrender tonight activates heaven to work on your behalf. Remember, God is never late. He is never passive. He is always moving, always listening, always ready to act when your heart is prepared to receive. Let tonight be a night where your faith rises above fear, your hope conquers doubt, and your spirit experiences the reality of heaven touching your life. So tonight, sleep in faith, speak your prayer, surrender fully, and expect God's miraculous visit. Awake to see His power, His blessings, and His transformation in every part of your life. God is with you. Now receive it.